I've noticed something where people who win at one thing win at everything. It's kind of the same where winners win. And it's absolutely true. It's more of a mentality that you're just not going to lose. That's in business and life and sports and video games and whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like when you have complete confidence in yourself to figure it out, it's tough to lose. And even if you do, you don't look at it like that. Today I played in a pickleball tournament and I did not win. I made it to the semifinals and lost with it was a mixed double, so I was playing with another gal. And I have a buddy who he was not playing in it. He was a nationals tennis champion when he was younger. He's incredible. And that dude just wins. He wins at everything. Ken McElroy, he wins at everything. I have been in such a fortunate position where from a personal growth perspective, I have won at everything, but I've surrounded myself with people who are so much better than me in every single aspect of life. I'm always losing. I'm always losing in everything, but improving so fast, which is the way that I want it to be. Because when I am strictly winning in everything, I get very lazy in some aspects of my life. And so, because I'm in a situation where business wise, I'm surrounded by people who make 100 times more money than me, I feel incredibly poor. Uh, in other aspects, and with my workout buddies, I'm the weakest, the most out of shape. I eat the worst. My pickleball buddies, I'm the least athletic, the worst. Yet, my rate of growth in every single area is so exponentially better than it otherwise would be if I was just hanging around with some people who were okay. I just would never get any better. And so when I double my income in a few months, which is a remarkable thing to even think about, I feel pathetic because I'm still so far from the mountain that I'm looking at. uh, it's amazing. It's amazing because I'm growing so ridiculously fast, but it feels like I'm getting further behind. So it makes me want to go 100 times further. I don't know how I kind of got off track, but yeah, when you go into the mentality that I am just going to win at everything, you do. That's what I've noticed. Like it's really a weird phenomenon, but I genuinely believe that Ken wins at everything. He's a phenomenal poker player, golfer, NASCAR driver, or when he's on the track or anything like that. Like the dude freaking wins. There's he has a very, I think, an annual poker tournament with some high rollers. So Ken, he's if you don't know, he has 10,000 real estate units. Let's just say each one's making $1,000 a month. Times that by 10,000, that's what he makes per month. So he makes a stupid amount of money, a stupid amount of money. So when he says he's playing with high rollers, like it is ridiculous. And they're not playing for money. They'll play for like some super, super expensive, like bottle alcohol, or maybe they will play for money, but I don't know. He's won every single one, and he clears house. He just clears house. When I went race car driving with him, we were with a mastermind of people who are all making tens of millions of dollars per year. Every single one to be in that in this race car event, every single person had to be making over $10 million per year. He cleared house. He won. Golfing. Uh, he doesn't really golf too often, but he freaking cleared house. He's incredible. Same thing with George Gammon, another guy. He was a professional golfer that he never even talks about. He's just incredible. Same thing, like every single thing that they do, they get incredibly good at because when you get so ridiculously good at one thing, let's say it's business, you know the amount of effort and time and dedication and the thoughts that go into something to become good at anything. I genuinely think that's the reason. When you become a true expert on something and you spend 10, 20, 50, in Ken's case, 80,000 hours on something, you realize how much work it takes to get good at something. So your rate of growth, because you're going into these situations with complete humility and ready to learn and understanding the complexities because uh, you know what it takes to get anywhere in any aspect is so much quicker. I think that has a lot to do with it. Where a lot of people, when you first start to learn a subject, you first start to do something, If you are the best in your area or you have nothing to compare yourself to, you probably think you're really good. And then you start to, let's say, do it more. Let's just say you're studying macroeconomics, because this was a real example for me. When I first started studying macroeconomics, I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. And I started studying it for quite literally 10 hours per day. That's all I did my senior year of high school, is I was studying macroeconomics, finance, every single thing in that aspect. I'd write down every single podcast, book. I was hyper obsessed. I was doing that for 6 months. And then I started to think that I was learning a lot and I understood these topics to a very high degree. And then I started to talk to other people who were in the space. I started to meet George, who he's a macroeconomics guy. I started to work with him. Then I realized that I knew nothing, and I had to completely humble myself, because once I started to actually understand things, I realized that it would be impossible to ever understand anything in that aspect. And then once you really, really, really start to understand it, there's so many other nuances to it. I'll say the same thing with pickleball. When you first start playing, you probably suck. Then you think it's a really easy game, and then it turns into a hyper complex game where every single move is, or every single shot is like a chessboard, and it is hyper thought out. So there's just everything is there's an infinite difficulty level for just about everything, and you can always get a lot better. So I think for the people who've actually gotten truly mastery of something, they start to realize how much quicker it is to learn something, and you become good at everything. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is, because I know other people who just lose. Like, no matter what, in their brain they just lose, and then they lose at everything. And I don't know what the difference is. I think a lot of it has to do with the mindset going into it, but I don't know if that can be the only reason. Therefore, I just want to be someone that wins. That's about as simple as it is. But I would like to know the reasoning as to why some people just continuously lose. I genuinely, I don't have a good answer. I mean, I have a few theses, but nothing that I can really point my finger at. So anyway, just gonna suffer through my loss at pickleball this tournament. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's just gonna haunt me. On other news, my work is going exceptionally well, which is always a good thing. So, adios.